Hi, I'm Bob. Welcome to Oregon Coast Now. This is the first in a series of videos I'm going to do from people who are planning on visiting Oregon Coast and specifically Tillamook County. Sitting in my car because I'm at the beach and I wanted to show you the beach, but it's windy out there and I didn't want the wind noise to be on the video drowning out my voice. So I'll just do it from in here, but I'll prove to you that I am in fact at the beach. Can you see that out there? See that giant rock? That is called Haystack Rock. It's one of two haystack rocks on the Oregon coast. This is the larger one. And this is Pacific City and Cape Kiwanda off to the right. Now let's come back to me. All right. I'm going to tell you in this video what you need to know about coming to Tillamook County and the North Oregon coast. And we'll get to other items that you need to know in future videos. But I want to make this one relatively short. Okay. If you are coming to the Oregon coast, the North Oregon coast, you at some point are going to be on Highway 101. It runs the north-south length of Tillamook County. In fact, it runs the north-south length of the U.S. West Coast. Highway 6 is the most likely way you'll be entering the county from the east, from the Portland area or other areas to the east, north, or south of Portland. You're going to come in on Highway 6. Highway 6 branches off Highway 26, known as the Sunset Highway, which runs west out of Portland, and then 6 branches off of it. Once you're on 6, you're going to drive through 50 miles of forest. 50 miles of forest, rainforest. There is one and only one gas station on that length of road. So if you are on 6 and you see the gas gauge on your car getting a little low, it's a Shell station. Stop there. You're not going to see another gas station for 40 miles until you arrive in Tillamook. Before I go any further, let me give you a crucial piece of advice. Leave your city attitude at home when you come here. If that doesn't apply to you, don't take offense. By city attitude, I mean, being in a hurry, expecting things to be done very quickly, expecting a level of services and amenities that you have in a city or a suburban area. We don't have that level of services and amenities. I'll get to that in a future video and what that means for you, but I want to talk about getting here first. Highway 106 is the north-south artery, and 6 is the one that comes in from the east. There are a couple of other ways to arrive in the county, but you're most likely to be coming here on 6, and you will be on Highway 101 at some point. The roads are old. They are not adequate for the volume of traffic we get today around here during tourist season. This county has about 25,000 permanent residents, but on a summer weekend, we can have 100,000 visitors here. That means 125,000 people taking roads that were never, ever designed to hold that kind of traffic. That means you're going to be stuck behind somebody going slowly at some point. Might be a milk truck. If you're on Highway 6 and there's a milk truck ahead of you, that milk truck is full. That's why it's going to Tillamook. It's going to deliver milk at the cheese factory. That means it weighs thousands and thousands of pounds, and it just can't do high speed. It just simply can't. If you're stuck, you're stuck. Both of those roads are one lane in each direction for most of their length through the county. And they're both trying to handle a large volume of traffic. You are going to be stuck in traffic at some point. If you're planning on coming here and you've checked a GPS or a map app and it says a trip from Portland to Tillamook via Highway 6 should take 2 hours, add a half hour to that in your mind. You may need it. So if you have a reservation, you have to be at your motel by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Make sure you've given yourself plenty of time, because you're going to run into slow-moving traffic at some point on that 50 miles through the forest. It's inevitable. There's always an 80-year-old guy driving a Winnebago, 15 miles under the speed limit. It happens. A milk truck, a tractor, lots of things will slow you down. Just grit your teeth and bear it. Don't get mad. If you're getting frustrated, pull over and wait a few minutes till things thin out and then get back in lane. The most important thing I can tell you is, under no circumstances, pass in a no passing lane. We lose people every year to that. There are fatal accidents on both Highway 101 and on 6 because of people doing that. Even if it's a passing area and you can see down the road and it's straight and you don't see a car coming, don't pass if you're not supposed to pass. Coming around the curve far ahead of you can be another car doing the exact same thing you're doing in the opposite direction. And as you get out on the left and you're next to the car you're trying to pass, suddenly that car appears around the curve and you are screwed. You are screwed. As I said, we have fatalities every year, and also, seeing as how it's such a narrow road, both of them are narrow roads, accidents like that shut the highway down completely. The police have to come in and do an accident reconstruction. It screws up everything. Do not pass on the right. Also dangerous. You come to a spot where there's a passing lane, but in the left lane is a Winnebago that's going slowly. You think, I can pass on the right and get around him. Don't do it. Maybe driven by an old person who simply doesn't see all that well. Maybe driven by someone who looks in the mirror, but you're in the blind spot. Don't do it. It isn't worth it. Just don't do it. These roads can also be rough. The blacktop can be rough, 6 in particular. Highway 6 goes over a summit that's 1,576 feet, I believe, at the top. That's where the county line is, right at the peak. The eastern slope of that, the side closer to Portland, is a particularly bad spot. You're going up. It also has a little bit of a lean to it, a tilt to it. And also, it can be ripply because there are landslides underneath it. The earth moves from all the rain underneath the blacktop surface, which makes the road kind of like a roller coaster. There are other spots that are notorious for developing cracks in them. I would recommend that you get on Facebook and you look. There's a couple of groups on Facebook devoted to Highway 6. There's one called Highway 6 Road Conditions or something like that, and it's subtitled Danger Mountain. That's what they call the summit. It's a very, very good resource because it's local people who travel that road quite a bit, know where the problem spots are, and often they have just traveled the road and came home or arrived somewhere in the Portland area and immediately got on and posted about how the road is going for the benefit of others. It's definitely worth taking a couple minutes to check that out. Highway 6 group on Facebook. These roads are windy. On Highway 6, a few miles south of a town called Wheeler, a small town in North Tillamook County, there's a curve. Doesn't look like much, but it has a speed limit, I think, of like 25, it says, or 30. They're not kidding about that. Doesn't look like much. Starts out as your normal curve, but the thing is, as you come around it, and there's a blind curve, you can't see, the angle tightens. The curve sharpens. Most curves on a road are just nice continuous curve. This one sharpens. People are going too fast and they can't stay in their lane and they have head-ons. I can't emphasize the kind of safety you need, the kind of precaution you need to exercise when you're on Highway 6 and Highway 101. We do have a lot of accidents. Okay, on Highway 6 at night, you might encounter elk. There are herds of elk that live in the rainforest on both sides of the road. You have to be on the lookout for them. About a year or so ago, I was traveling Highway 6 late one night around midnight, and I came around a turn, and there was an elk standing on the tiny little shoulder of the road within 6 feet of my passenger door. If he had taken another 2 steps out, he would have been in front of me, and that would have been disastrous for both me and he. You have to watch out for those. If you're traveling at night, be really, really careful. Be on the lookout for them. This is not Disney World. These animals are not audio animatronic. These are wild animals. That might sound silly to you, but people come here and they seem to expect that you're protected. You know, that it's like Disney World. Nothing can harm you. Everything is robotic. And there are cast members to tell you to step back. That is not the case. Proceed with caution is what I'm going to say. Now, one thing that's a little bit off the highway idea, but I'm going to mention this anyway. Make a reservation. If you're planning on coming here, make a reservation. Everything books up well in advance around here during the tourist season. All the motels book up. The ones at the beach book up instantly. So do the campgrounds. Last time I checked, the federal campground on Cape Lookout wanted 120-day in advance reservations. That's 3 months. I'm shooting this in late March. That means almost April. That means April, May, and June are booked up already. July and August may also be booked up. You need to make, as soon as you're done with this video, if you know when you're coming here, make a reservation. Make sure you have a place to stay when you get here. You'll be unhappy. I've met tourists who, when I was sitting at McDonald's, asked me if I knew of a place to stay, and the answer is probably not. Everything is booked. So the bottom line is, be cautious, be careful when you are driving. Do not speed, do not pass. And make sure you have a place to stay when you arrive. We'll get into other topics in the next video about what to expect, amenities and so forth when you come here. In the next video. In the meantime, I'd like to thank you for watching this one. I am Bob. I would appreciate it if you would like this video, and also if you would subscribe to the channel and maybe turn on notifications so you'll know when I post other ones. Much appreciated. Thanks for watching. See you soon.